Alright, fellow YouTubers, you know who it is. I'm doing this video because, well, things are going to change. Not to my channel, not to the content, but to the machine that I use to create all this content. It's hard to believe that when I started doing YouTube videos, I was doing them on a laptop. With Cyberlink Power Director 12. Oh my god, it was just a nightmare. You add in stuff and then you're trying to get to the end so you can add things in, do the edit, and it would just go slow. I mean, you know, the laptop, it was a Hewlett-Packard laptop. It sufficed in a pinch, considering my previous laptop bought the farm, and I had to get what I could afford, which was a Hewlett-Packard laptop with an Intel i3 in it. I think it was a 1.2 gigahertz. And of course, it had that Intel graphics, which is an integrated graphics card, which I do not like integrated graphics cards. They're part of your motherboard. You can't take it out and replace it unless you take out the entire motherboard. I hate integrated graphics. It only had 128 megabytes of RAM dedicated to the graphics, but it could use up to 4 gigs of memory from the 8 gigs of system memory, which a lot of games don't like that. They don't work well with integrated graphics. These games want dedicated graphics. So, hence my getting my desktop, which is also a Hewlett-Packard, but as you've seen in the previous video, yes, that's what I'm trying to say. My mind is going faster than the mouth, so that's a dangerous thing. But as you've seen in the previous video I did on an update story, new machine, new possibilities, it's all AMD, but things are going to change in this machine over the next several months. I have a 1 terabyte hard drive, which obviously is the operating system and whatever else I might install. And I'm currently down to like 240 gigs of free space out of all of that. And that's like, oh god. So, over the next several months, one of the major things that's going to change is I'm going to be adding 2 6 terabyte Seagate hard drives. So, I do have room for 2 more internal. So I'll be buying a 3-pack. Notice, and he puts up the number 2. A 3-pack of SATA cables. Just the data transfer cables, not the power cables. Even though that's going to have to be something I look into, because in addition to the 2 6 terabyte hard drives, I am going to be upgrading my 300 watt PSU to a 750 watt modular PSU by EVGA. And it's, I don't remember if it's bronze certified or higher, but it's 80 plus certified. I just don't remember if it's bronze or silver, gold, platinum. I don't remember. But the thing is, it's modular. And I'm going to have a lot of fun taking the PSU, the current PSU out, because it's not. It's one little itty bitty box with a big bundle of wires coming out of the box and just run. I mean, the cable management they did in here is excellent. So, my only concern is the DVD RW drive that's in my tower. It's basically a laptop DVD drive. I mean, you know, I've had many towers over the years, and I know what a CD-ROM looks like. Plus, this is vertically mounted instead of horizontal, as you may or may not have seen in the video. But it is. It's a DVD-ROM you would see installed in a laptop. So my only concern with the modular PSU is it having a cable that will connect to that DVD drive. I want that DVD drive. I mean, it's not that I use it all the time, but it's good to, you know, be able to use it when I want to or need to for something. You never know. So yeah, 750 watt PSU by EVGA, modular, which makes it a lot easier because I only need to run the cables that I actually need to power everything. I'm also going to be upgrading the video card. I've already settled in on an AMD Radeon 580. I'm going with the 580, but I found an 8 gigabyte version, which is actually cheaper than the 4 gig I was looking at, and I'm going, wait, what? It's one of those classic moments where you're going, the 8 gig is cheaper than the 4? What the hell? So, yeah, we're going to be moving that up. Storage for me, though, that is the biggest thing. I have so many games currently installed on this desktop, and it's killing the 1 terabyte hard drive. So basically with the two 6 terabytes, I'm going to redesignate within my Steam library where the games are to be installed, and they will be installed on the 6 terabyte. I'm going to break that 1 terabyte that came with the tower back down to just the operating system and video editing software, things like that. But as far as games and storage, all that's going to be moved off. I'm going to have 12 terabytes of storage total. Plus, because I'm a avid collector of movies, I'm also going to bolster that with two, I got it right this time, two external 4 terabyte hard drives. Those are going to be for straight up, solid, flat out storage of movies, music, family photos, things of that nature. Also, one thing I want to point out, if you noticed in my video when I showed you the inside, when I originally got this, it had 8 gigs of RAM in it. I upgraded it to 16. Unfortunately, in my excitement at finally getting the RAM, I did a newbie mistake. I put that second stick of RAM right next to the stick of RAM that was already in there and committed myself to single channel memory. I tried to correct it, pulled it out, put it in the proper slot for dual channel, turned it on, and I got the little beep, beep, beep from the tower. It wasn't having it. And I'm like, I was just so excited to get 16 gigs of RAM up and running in this machine. I wasn't actually thinking. I just threw it in there. 16 gigs, yeah, yeah. And it's later on, because every now and then I'll disconnect everything from the tower, pull the tower out, and clean the fans inside so that they don't get a whole lot of buildup. Because if you get a buildup of dust on your fans, it makes the fans work harder because the fan blades are now getting heavier with the accumulation of dirt and dust, and it will burn out the motors. So I do make a habit of shutting it down, disconnecting everything, pulling the tower out, taking the side panel off, taking a Q-tip, and just cleaning it off, blow it out, get it out of there. Keep them clean and functional. And that's when I noticed it. I was like, oh, no. But like I said, I tried to correct it. They wouldn't have it. So I had to put it right back the way I had it, stuck with single channel. But recently, my version of Windows was updated to the infamous 1809. Yeah, the one they rolled out. And then people were saying, oh, you know what? I got files on my computer that are just being randomly deleted. What the hell? So Microsoft held back on that rollout. So I was with 1803. And then it popped up. Boop! Windows update to version 1809. I'm going, oh, crap. I don't want to do this. If they haven't fixed it, I'm kind of screwed. But they did fix it, and also I'm associating the update in Windows to my ability to reconfigure my RAM the proper way. I was able to shut it down, take it out of here, pull that one stick out, put it back in the dual channel setup, fired it up, no beep, 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 it just booted up. Hell, I kept the side of it off, swapped out the memory, plugged in the monitor, the power, and my HDMI switcher because it's powered. It's got to be plugged in. So I plugged in those three things just so I could get, see what's going on. I knew if it didn't work, I'd get the beep, beep, beep from the tower, but that never happened. So I am now properly configured for dual channel because that's the best way. But yeah, I got that fixed. My own noob mistake. Well, not really a noob. I've been dealing with computers since 1995. And possibly a little earlier than that when I was in service. I think the first Windows I used was 4.0. And that was still basically an MS-DOS shell base before Windows 95 came out, which gave you a nice GUI instead. And Windows has just progressed. I do like Windows 10 for one reason and one reason only. And that's because you don't have to worry about getting Windows 11, Windows 12. They quit doing that. They made Windows 10 a service. So they just focus on updating and upgrading your version of Windows 10 to bring you the best possible experience they can. Even though everybody knows Microsoft is going to mine your information. Boom. Barnacules Nerdgasm, he even pointed that out. They made things a little better. They were a little more transparent about the information they collect, but that's still a shitload of information they collect. My box is shut down. I've got, it took me a while to figure out my webcam because I went through the privacy and I shut everything off. That included the camera. Without realizing it, I couldn't get it to work. I use it with Discord, the microphone. Yeah. But I think I pretty much got my box done up. I like the idea that this is now considered a service and they're just going to continue, like I said previously, to upgrade and update Windows 10. There won't be no Windows 11. So, and once you know what to do within the privacy settings, within the registry, I even use SpyBot Anti-Beacon to shut off a lot of the telemetry. It makes it a lot better. As a gaming machine, I've always been into Windows. I have never, ever used any other operating system. I've seen videos on YouTube recently where this guy had a MacBook Pro. And he started having issues with his MacBook Pro. And so he switched to a Windows laptop and he's discovered he likes it. I like it. And I've been with it since Windows 95. We're going to start there because that's when the first actual graphical user interface came in to make it easy for the consumer to actually figure out what to do. Oh, okay, all these folders, I can move stuff between this, I can do that, I can do that. But it was still MS-DOS based, and all the games that came out back then were all MS-DOS based. So you actually had to go into your C drive and your command shell to execute the game. Not like it's done now with these shortcuts on your desktop, things like that. It's completely changed since 1995. For the better, sometimes for the worse. But the main reason why I like the Windows PC, I don't care for Linux. Hate on me if you want to. I don't like the iOS or the MacBook Pros or any of the Apple computers. Nope, don't like them. The only Apple device I've ever wanted was an iPod. I got one, a 5th gen iPod Touch, which I gave to my wife because, well, my Samsung Galaxy J7 is now the MP3 player because I bought and purchased Jet Audio. And that shit's awesome. And it does everything that the iPod would do. It displays the album art, it displays lyrics if you have the lyrics embedded, which I do that with my Easy CD audio converter software. But when it comes to devices like this, if I had an iPhone, I'm limited in the capacity. by which one I bought. The more money you spend, the larger the capacity you can get. When I can buy this and just buy an SD card. This one can handle up to 128 gigabyte SD card. I've only got a 64 gig inside it right now. And it's primarily for music, because I love my music on the go. And that's why I like the Windows PCs, because I can use third-party devices. I can expand on my storage. I really can't say anything about MacBook Pros or any of the Apple computers. I've never used one. So I don't know if you can plug and play other devices. I don't know how well it works with certain PC games, because for the most part, in general, most video games are made for 3 platforms: PC, PS4, Xbox One. And then, of course, there's your little Nintendo Switch, your Nintendo Wii, but then, you know, I'm not that big a Nintendo fan, though I do like my Mario. And I do have a Dolphin emulator, so I can play Super Mario Sunshine, which is a very addictive game, even though the camera part's really making me angry. But yeah, that's why I've always been a Windows PC user. I'm going to also be expanding this current 16 gigs of RAM to the maximum of 32. That'll help. And all this is going to be occurring over the next several months. I think I have like 2.5 payments left on this PC. Like I stated before, I got this as a rent-to-own from Aaron's. People will be like, well, you could have just gone out and bought it and it would have been a whole hell of a lot cheaper. This is true. But if you don't have the money to do that, and you're actually able to finance, even though in the end you're probably going to end up paying twice what it's actually worth, it's the convenience of being able to have it in my home and use it while I'm still paying for it. I'm down to 2.5 payments. And come this Friday, I'll be down to 1.5 payments. And once it's completely paid off, I'll have that money to start buying the things I need, which probably the first thing that's going to happen is the PSU swap. That's going to be fun. I'm going to have to take my time. I mean, I found out, I've got one panel that's quick detach. You unlock it, you press down on the back, and it just pretty much boop, pops off, move it out of the way. The other side also comes off. It's got 2 screws in the back, and it just slides off. And that's where all the cable management is on that opposite side. And like I said earlier, the cable management they did when putting this Omen PC together, they did a really good job. I was able to trace every single power line going to whatever it goes to. The AMD Radeon that's currently in here, the 552 gig, it is purely powered by the motherboard. The 580, on the other hand, yep, we're going to have to run power to that bad boy. But my prime concern right now, mostly, is storage and upgrading the PSU to a 750 watt. Because at a bare minimum, it doesn't matter what iteration of the AMD Radeon 580 you have. It doesn't matter if it's a 2 gig, 4 gig, 8 gig. It requires a minimum of 500 watts in order to have that video card in your system. So, and since I'm going to be adding 2 6 terabyte internal hard drives and maybe some other future modifications, I think it'll be that just jump up to a 750. It's not going to use all of that. It only uses what it needs. I mean, right now, it's a 300 watt PSU. Obviously, it's not using all of it. If I were to take the 300 watt out now and put the 750 watt in, with my current setup, it would still draw the same amount of power it did when I had the 300 in it. It would just be like, 750 watts. Cool. All I need is this, but it's nice to know I got a little buffer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to making these upgrades. Because, yeah, there's going to be some games coming out here in the near future that I don't think my current Radeon can touch. I think my CPU is fine. I think the Ryzen 5 is good for a bit. I might, in the future, think about stepping up to the Ryzen 7. But these are all upgrades I can do on my own. I mean, that's the good thing is I bought it. It's already built. It came with everything I wanted because I was looking at building it myself. And everything would have had to have been external. An external memory card reader, an external DVD-RW drive, external this, external that. And but this came with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, the DVD, the memory card reader, a ton of USB ports. I love it. I've got 4 USB ports right here on the front end. 2 of them are USB 3.0, and the other 2 are a Type-C USB, and then there's 10 in the back. I think there's 4 3.0s and 6 2.0s, or it could be the other way around. 6 3.0 and 4 2.0s. But, and I like the fact that this thing was designed for audio, because my current setup, I've got an HDMI switcher so that I can run the PS4 as well, because I do have a PlayStation 4. And I really like it, but originally I had it hooked up to the TV in the living room, which is a 32-inch 720p TV. And I'm like, I want the full 1080 experience, so I got the switcher. I did a review on the original switcher I bought that didn't work, and told you about which one I did buy. But just a quick little, 22-minute video of me telling you what I intend to do with my machine. I may or may not record the upgrading, ripping out everything, putting new stuff in. Not ripping. Technology and the word ripping out doesn't go together unless you're destroying it, but yeah. So we'll see you in the next video, which hopefully may be a gaming video. So until then, peace.